case my kids come in here. All right. Looks like
Welcome, welcome. So
yeah.
happy you're joining us this afternoon. Sorry we missed you last time, but we're here today again to bring you some Zola, some love, some progress, some prosperity, all things good. I'm Dr. Linda James Myers. I am a past president of ABSI and have fulfilled many other roles, but here today I'm serving as moderator to our Creating Zola Mondays. Those who have joined us before probably recognize our panel, and we have a wonderful guest today, Professor Wayne Chandler, who was with us maybe last month before, and it was so exciting and so much information we needed to continue. So that's what we'll be up to today. I am going to let my other elder professional, Dr. Harvey Lindner, introduce himself, and then uh, Dr. Jonisha, and then we will have uh, Professor Chandler introduce himself, who's a world renowned writer, scholar, healer, teacher. So we're excited that he's here today.
Well, with that intro, I'm Harvey Linder. I'm a clinical psychologist in Minneapolis, Minnesota. I'm a longtime member of ABSI, currently a member of the ABSI Ethics Committee. And I'll throw it over to JoJo.
Peace family, I'm Dr. Jonisha Hickson. I am the public relations for the National Association of Black Psychologists and the chair of the DCAB Psi. I'm super excited to continue this conversation. And so I'll go ahead and pass it over to Dr. Chandler.
I call this passing the buck.
We call it passing the talking stick.
So how is everyone? Hope everyone is fine and that you had a great weekend this weekend. I believe it was a holiday weekend starting on Friday. So everybody should be well rested and just excited. I had a presentation to do on Saturday, which was really different for me because it was I was asked. It was a birthday party for a good friend of mine who's a musician. He's a jazz musician, and he had asked me to come and do spoken word at his party, which I did, which I haven't done in quite some time. So, needless to say, that was quite the experience. But it was exciting. It was exciting. And today, I'm just hoping that all the tech is functional and fluid and that we can get through this without any major hiccups. No hiccups today.
Excellent.
Speak the word.
So we've talked about a lot, and I wanted to go in and see if I can share my screen with let's see here. Can everybody see that?
No.
No?
No, we don't see anything yet.
Okay. Um,
So you click the plus button, right?
yeah,
And what
yeah.
what options do you see?
I'm trying. Let me see. I'm gonna have to come out of this and just let this go. So let me see here. I'm going to start with wow. Yeah, I mean, what are you all seeing now?
We don't see anything. But
I see your screen here. I had to
oh
add it.
yay, there it is.
But I'm seeing your email. Is that what you want people to see? Dr.
No,
Chandler?
I want to see. I'm trying to. I'm just going to have to play this from my email, but let me see.
Okay.
Would
Once
it
you
help
put
if
that
he
link
emailed
first,
it to you, Jojo?
well, no, because remember I said my computer is
Uh,
dead. I mean, not dead, but the display is messed up. I mean, we could try it, and then y'all can just kind of direct me on what I'm clicking.
I can let me see if I can just pop it from here.
Okay,
And
go ahead and click the link. We still see your email. I want our audience to see it too, but after you kind of taken down that email, so that we're
okay.
not
So what I what
nervous.
I need, because I need to know if you all can see this and more importantly hear this. Okay. So
Okay,
I'm
so
a
this is
I'm gonna click this to go.
mhm.
Okay.
all right. Go ahead.
So we see the email.
See that?
So can you see this
We see an
No,
email.
and can you hear it?
We hear nothing.
We're just
we
seeing an
only see the
email.
email. Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe stop sharing and reshare after you've already opened the link of what you're trying to share. Does that make sense?
Say that again because I was playing the video
So
that you
stop
all couldn't
sharing
hear.
your screen
Okay.
and then already open up the link for that you're trying to share, like YouTube, and then reshare your screen again. But yeah, if it's easier for you to send me the link, we can do that. Just in the interest of time, because I know we started a little bit late.
Okay.
Or you can send it to me and I can forward it.
I hate StreamYard.
We also
Well,
have
we
a chat
got
on
it.
here. You could put it in the chat, and then I could just play it from there.
Uh, okay. Let me send you the emails
Mm.
Okay, that works.
and
The audience will notice that we don't have a huge production team behind us.
They say, yeah, I mean, really? Why don't y'all get one?
Stay with us, audience. This is all about, how do we learn to meet problems and solve problems? And
okay, Dr. Myers, you should have these in your
I
email.
do. You
Okay.
emailed it. I got the email. Now I'm the most technically challenged
you can send it to JoJo.
person on the planet. Let's see.
Somebody from the YouTube said, "I'm here and I understand." So they are understanding our technical.
Oh, they're so kind.
Swear by now, for real.
Okay. So now I have it up and I need to go to, did it kick me off? Can you all see me?
We can see you.
Okay. So if I go back here, okay, so I'm playing the video, but can you hear it?
No, you'll have to share your screen, Linda. Let me see. Oh,
Okay.
yeah, you'll have to share your screen.
Okay, so let me get to StreamYard. There we go. And I'll do what we told Wayne to do.
Hmm.
A video file is that? Oh, no, share screen. Okay. Share screen.
Yeah.
How can I get this?
Some screens let you audio. Look for share audio. No, I want to share video and audio. Okay. So here we go. No telling what'll come up on my. I hope it's not rated R.
That's why I say I want y'all to get what you got to show first, and then we'll share the screen.
Okay, so is it showing there?
I see your screen, but can you click the link?
Okay.
And I'll put,
You can see her screen.
yeah, I can see. I'm gonna add it to the stage after she's exited her email. Got the link on.
So I'm now trying to get it to open. I see it in the view, but okay, here we go. Do you see that?
No, I'm still seeing your email.
So I'm having the same problem that
Okay, can you forward me the email with the link, and then I'll try.
mm-hmm. What did you call this? Passing the buck? No, I don't want to do that. Jojo, I'm sending it to your Gmail. Is that okay?
Yeah, that's fine.
I'm so glad our audience is so patient and loyal.
Yes, they are. They
At
are.
least we're glad they're at least pretending to be. So.
We just don't hear those saying not so nice words. They're kind enough not to put it on speaker.
Okay, I do see your email. I see the link from YouTube. Okay. So give me one moment. I'll try to share my screen now. All right, y'all. This is so...
We need to get our national office person on board here.
Oh my God. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to share. Hold up. Because of my security settings. Oh my God. I can't share. I have to leave and come back. Oh my God. Hold on. You're trying to show a YouTube short, Professor Chandler?
I am. I'm trying to show. I have 2 YouTube shorts, and then I have a picture that I want to show, that I want to put up on the screen, which is a picture of the brain hemispheres, the right and the left, and showing the specifics of how they operate and the difference between the two. And if we
can we see that?
Yes, we can see it now.
All right. Is this the video you're trying to show, Dr. Chandler?
Yeah, Greg Braden.
Okay, cool. So now I have to see if we can hear it. Okay, I'm gonna press play. Let me know.
And actually, can you see me, because I have lost everything?
Yeah, I can see you, Nana Linda. I think it's just because we're sharing screen.
Oh, I need to shut mine off.
I see you right there. Okay, so y'all ready to for me to play it?
We showed up about 200.
Can you hear it?
Yes, we could hear it.
And you said you can't see it, Nana Linda?
But that's not a problem that others have. So go ahead.
Okay, I'm about to play it right now. All right, 2 years later.
We showed up about 200,000 years ago. Now there's a little evidence that may have been back as far as 300,000. But the kicker is that we can now look at the DNA and reverse engineer it and say, what did it take to get where we are? And what scientists are now calling the smoking gun, and there's still a lot of controversy around this, is human chromosome number 2, second largest chromosome in every cell of the body. It's got about 1,200 or so genes in that chromosome. And just one of them, gene TBR number 1, is responsible for most of the brain that we have for our neocortex. So our humanness, our empathy, sympathy, compassion, love, our cognitive abilities, the mirror neurons, all these kinds of things are because that one gene. What's really interesting is where did chromosome 2 come from? And scientists have the answer, but they don't like the answer because chromosome 2 is the product of a fusion. Proceedings from National Academy of Sciences, the volume Genetics, says this very clearly. We conclude that the origin of human chromosome 2 is the product of an ancestral fusion, of telomere to telomere fusion of two pre-existing chromosomes. That does not happen in nature. We showed up.
Wow.
Okay. Now, the next video, I want you to play the next one because that kind of brings everything together with more specificity so you can, like, you know, get a deeper comprehension of what we're looking at with respect to our evolutionary process.
Okay. And where can I find the second video? Is that also in an email? In the email?
Yeah, that should, I sent that as well.
Okay. I only see one link in the
Okay.
email.
Dr. Myers, you should have that in your email.
Okay. Now I sent what I had to. So the email you sent me, I just forwarded it to her. I'm not sure why.
Okay.
Let me forwarded it again.
Okay. Let me send it again real quick.
Yeah, and then what I can do as well is share the link to the first video to our audience. So maybe, you know, if they want to watch it, they can while we queue up that second video.
Yeah, I only had the one link, but I think I'm going to send it again. And then I'll see. It does look like a different video than what we just looked at for sure, though.
Yes, thanks you all for, you know, if you're watching and your patience and flexibility, we are trying our best.
Okay, so I just sent.
That's the same one.
You just sent another one to me?
Uh-huh.
Okay. Sharing. Okay. Yeah, okay. I need to forward this. Okay, Dr. Hickson, here it comes.
All right, so I'll let you know once I receive it, y'all, and then I'll go ahead and play it. Oh, Billy Carson, is that the next video?
Yes.
All right, perfect. So I have that here. Give me 1 minute so I can share that with the audience. All right. Oh, Lord have mercy, we did it. Okay, hold on, this is an ad. Oh, there goes William as well. Hey, William. You didn't miss much except for but, you know, we moved. All right, y'all can see that, family?
Yes, we can see YouTube.
All right, I'm about to play it.
But we need look, we have 46 chromosomes, right?
Right.
What happened?
At 48.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They discovered that chromosome number 2 was taken out, or they call it an artificial mutation. They mean geneticists, fused together in 2 telomere
Oh, I'm sorry. Hold on, Miss Nick. I'm sorry.
caps put on, 1 telomere cap on each side. Who in the world took chromosome number 2 out, fused it together, and put telomere caps on it? And they say that it happened as an estimated 200,000 years ago, right at the time that Sumerian tablets say they decided to make mankind to do the labor. There's no coincidence that the tablets are aligning with modern science. They came here about 450,000 years ago. At the time that they arrived, Alalu, who made it through the hammered bracelet, which is the asteroid belt. At that time, the asteroid belt was still very chaotic because the asteroid belt is an exploded planet that used to have the name of Tiamat. And this means that A couple things. The first thing, it means that we were genetically modified. The second thing that it means is the telomere caps limit our lifespan to about 120 years max, according to Harvard scientists. Now, in the Bible, what does it say? It says that my seed
Okay, we can you
be
can
120.
pause it
That's
here.
good.
Yeah.
All right. So let us discuss.
Yeah, so what I'm attempting to do is to show between Greg Brayton and Billy Carson this abnormal design that we carry with respect to chromosome 2 and the limitations that it presents to us as conscious entities, sentient beings that are looking to expand on various levels with respect to awareness, spiritual integration, and even just physical longevity. That there has been an imprint that has compromised all of this for us. And so now we have to look at what do we need to do? How do we circumvent? How do we get around? How do we negate, neutralize this imprint that most of us unconsciously are moving through the world with?
Mm.
So a lot of this is reinforced through our culture. And so let me share this. If you see this, this is the brain, the right and the left hemisphere of the brain, and the characteristics associated with that.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I'm going to read off. On the blue side, the blue is time bound, processes information bit by bit, which means it's compartmentalized. It's linear. It's sequential. A to B, B to C. It looks at detail, compartmentalizes the world, splits the world into identifiable bits and pieces. It looks for cause and effect. It asks how. It focuses on information. It uses words to describe, define. It is deductive in that it draws a specific conclusion from broad premises, but all the information necessary for the conclusion is contained in the premise. So it functions largely off of what we refer to as the scientific method, that it locks us into a three-dimensional framework, a framework of tangibilities. And these tangibilities directly connect with the five senses, but it does not go beyond the five senses. It stays within this particular framework in order for it to operate and create the reality that we live in and with on the daily. Now, that's the masculine aspect of the brain. That's the male dominant aspect of our brain. When we are young, going through, before we even hit our puberty and up through puberty, we're locked into a part of the brain that is more creative. and we express. If you think about it, you express like when you're young, everything. That's when you're at the most creative period and cycle within your life. And then all of a sudden, you step outside of that as you move into maturation, or what socially is referred to that. So, what we have been able to analyze and put together is that at maturation, at 21, you move into a totally different aspect of the brain called the dorsolateral prefrontal cortex. And this particular aspect of the brain is societal, it's male driven, but it deals more with locking us into this three-dimensional reality.
Mhm.
And being in that now, we're now moving along this linear framework, and we have left this creative aspect of the brain, which gives us, which is the red aspect of the brain, which is timeless. This is the feminine aspect of the brain, the feminine aspect of consciousness. It's timeless as opposed to being time bound. Let me see if I can read all of this myself. It
Okay.
processes information all at once instead of bit by bit. It's simultaneous. It looks at the whole. It connects the world into a connected whole. It looks for relationships. It asks why. It focuses on the emotional fields of the body mind. It uses pictures, shapes, and colors. It's inductive instead of deductive, in that it draws a general conclusion going beyond the premises and properties, which means that it extends itself beyond the five senses, in that it's intuitive, it's clairvoyant, it's psychic.
Wow.
So when we lose based on cultural design, when that shift takes place into the dorsolateral prefrontal cortex, and we become more linear, more three-dimensionally framed, and we carry with and through the reality of the five senses, and only the five senses, we leave behind that feminine aspect, which builds and gives us the ability to push, resist, and fight against this telomeric imprint
Mhm.
that has been placed in our body mind
Mhm.
to stop us from evolving in the way we were designed to evolve. Does
Wow.
everybody get that?
Yes, I have
Is
a
that
quick
coming
question though.
across?
You talked about the blue and red.
Uh-huh.
I'm given to understand that the right side is the red.
The right side is the red. The right side is the feminine aspect
Mhm.
of the brain.
Mhm.
The blue, the masculine aspect. Now, if you want, you can go back to the matrix because all of this is encoded in the Matrix. When Neo goes to see Morpheus for the first time, and Morpheus says to Neo when he walks in, "You must feel a bit like Alice tumbling down the rabbit hole." And Neo goes, "Yeah, you can say that." No, Morpheus says, "No, I can see it. I can see it in you because you have," and I'm paraphrasing, but you have the perspective, the mind, the reality of someone, who has just awakened or is attempting to awake. But you know that there's something wrong with the world in which you live, but you don't know what it is, but it's there, driving you mad like a splinter in your brain. You know what I'm talking about. And Neo goes, "The Matrix?" Morpheus says, "Yes." "Do you want to know what it is?" "It's there. It's all around you. It's everywhere. You see it when you turn on your television set. You feel it when you go to work, when you go to school, when you pay your taxes. It's the world that's been pulled over your eyes to blind you from the truth." And Neo says, "What truth?" And Morpheus says that you, like everyone else, was born a slave, born into a reality that is all about the limitation of your mind, body, and soul. Now, from this point, Morpheus reaches and pulls out these two pills. One pill is blue and the other pill is red. Morpheus opens his hands to Neo and he gives him the blue pill, and he says, "If you take the blue pill, the story ends here. Limitation is activated. Everything now is done. You wake up in your bed believing whatever it is you want to believe. But if you take the red pill, then you stay in Wonderland. You stay in this awe-inspiring, expanded reality. And I'll show you just how deep the rabbit hole really goes." And that's the dynamic between the right and the left hemispheres of the brain, and how we have been removed from the right, the feminine aspect of the brain. We move with this imprint that is very male centered, very left brain centered, and very limited with respect to what our possible realities bring to the table. Does everybody get that? You follow that?
Yes, that's so
Followed.
powerful. Or at least I followed it.
No, it was Nana Linda, and it's making me think of your. I promise y'all, we're not sponsored by Nana Linda to say this, but it's making me think of optimal conceptual theory, right? Where you have this whole concept of like the reality is built on the physical and the extra physical, right, or the extrasensory, if you will. And I think right now, for me personally, I'm trying to learn how to lean more so on that feminine side of the brain, right, where I am taking information from some of the things that I can't see, right, like my intuition and following that and things like that. And I think that this whole idea of creating Zola Mondays is the point of some of the conversation you're having, Professor Chandler, right? We're trying to raise consciousness, right, and raise people to lean more into African indigenous ways of thinking rather than like, right, this is what I can see, feel, heal, or this is what I can see, touch, and taste, blah blah blah, right? But what about the spiritual sense of it? So I really appreciate it. I'm happy that you were able to come back because since our last conversation, I've definitely been more leaning into the power of the tongue, right, and trying to manipulate my reality based on what I'm saying in my thoughts and directing those thoughts towards positive things. So thank you for that.
Yeah, well, that's empowering, and that's my focus is and has been for decades why we all need to have a specific practice which moves us into the nature of beyond. We have to get into that right hemispheric environment because that's where change, real change, authentic change really begins. Now, the left hemisphere, it leads you into the awareness of that. But then you have to have the actual things that you are proactive about that really creates the shifts and the changes that makes it real, that the feminine aspect, the right hemisphere, delivers and speaks on. And that's why, you think about, okay, well, what do you do? Meditation is good for that because it really works, the various hemispheres. Even alternate nostril. Alternate nostril is very, very powerful because it integrates both hemispheres of the mind. And again, for me, it's qigong because in qigong is the dynamic of the yin and the yang. And what makes it a reality is the fusion of the yin and the yang, the masculine and the feminine. Without that fusion, it wouldn't be, and that's, when you think and you look at Tao, and Tao again is a term, a word that literally just means the way. You say, well, what's the way? It's the universal way. It's the way of the universe, which is the integration of these two principles, the yin and the yang, the masculine and the feminine. Not one being more utilized than the other, but finding the balance between the two so that you have wholeness, completeness. And that's what we don't have in terms of how we operate and navigate this system, this culture that we're a part of.
And that's what is, and the point JoJo was making is that is exactly what optimal psychology attempts to do. And so while you were talking about the right side, I just had to smile because it's a place that you can live and experience so much more peace and joy and sustainable well-being. But in this social context, you also have to integrate that left as well, because that's the way we move. But I think I have a couple of questions. One, is it true? Well, I actually have three. We're moving into the Aquarian age. Does that predispose us then to more right?
It does. It does. I mean, we're right now. I mean, there's so many downloads that are happening on the planet. I mean, come mid-April, we're going to be pummeled by Aries. I think there are like 7 planets that are all going to be in Aries at the same time. So, you're going to get a beat down. You're going to see a whole lot of changes taking place in the world, in politics and culture, but also with respect to consciousness. Those who are trying to hold on to the old ways. Nope. The old ways are done. They're gone. You know, Aries is a trailblazer. Aries is the one. Aries is like, yeah, well, yeah, it's springtime. We're not doing this old program any longer. You know, it's about moving up and forward. So there's so many cosmological events that are taking place, which are really guiding us into this new realm of awareness. And many of us are going to fight it. We're going to resist because we want to keep that which is known, because that is what's comfortable to us. But we need to embrace the new, you know, and know that it doesn't matter how much you resist. The more you resist, the more topsy turvy and dysfunctional your life is going to be. And that's the bottom line. So it's up to us to kind of embrace the responsibility of change and to step into that, because then you're fluid with the changes that are going to be like just saturating the environment. I mean, we're in a deep time, you know. I mean, Trump tells you that every day.
Say if you were confused.
Yeah, you know. I mean, the one thing when I look at him, I just say he puts it all out there. You know, he puts everything out there. And when he did the Mar-a-Lago Accords, nobody read the Mar-a-Lago Accords. Most people didn't even know about the Mar-a-Lago Accords. But in the Mar-a-Lago Accords, he tells you, I'm going to kill the dollar. That we are going to move into a totally different way of financial infrastructure. It's going to be different. And from that point, then he created the Clarity Act, the Genius Act, which goes more deeply into specifically how he's going to implement that. So we can be in this place of completely not addressing, not being aware, being, you know, oblivious to it all. And when it hits and comes down and we're not prepared, we can be amongst the other tens of thousands that are going to be in the street, you know, begging for food, water, and everything else because we don't have the proper resources to get what it is we need. It's all out there. Everything.
So
Everything is out there.
is what you're speaking of, and what he talks about is the digital dollar,
Yeah.
dollar 2.0.
Everything is going to be slipped into what he calls the stable coin.
Stable coin, yes.
And everybody, see, what people don't realize, they look at all of this stuff that's taking place in the East with respect to China. His strategy is this. When you look at how people now move money, accept, you know, receive money, send money, they do it through stablecoins all over the world, especially in the so-called, you know, underdeveloped countries. They got their cell phone, and that's how they operate. When it comes to getting money, sending money, this is how they operate. They use stable coins everywhere. 96% of all the stable coins manufactured, designed, utilized are done so from this point in America. America is the dominant manufacturer and disseminator of stable coins, which means that everything has to come back here when it comes to moving money. And that's the Genius Act. That's what he is attempting to, that's his strategy. His strategy is to get everybody on the planet having to use stable coins to get your money, send, receive. The banks are going to be using stable coins. Matter of fact, Swift, which is the dominant go-between with respect to the whole banking cabal, has now said that they have just released a blockchain configuration that is now going to address the movement of money between all banks. Blockchain, blockchain. And it's going to be stable coins that the banks are going to be using. A lot of people thought it was going to be XRP, that XRP was going to step in and go in and deal with the movement of finance between borders, between countries. But no, SWIFT has been working, like overtime, because they have their own cabal. The banking is its own cabal. They're not going to bring some other dynamic from the outside in to operate and give direction to their financial infrastructure. They're going to let someone come in and direct their finances and where they go, how they're received. No, XRP was never going to do that. Was never going to be put in that position to allow that to happen. And that's why SWIFT behind the scenes has been working to build a totally different type of reality so that the banking system is not compromised in any way, shape, form, or fashion. But it's our responsibility to bring ourselves up to speed so that we know the game. You look at the game, you see the game, and then you can choose not to play. But most of us will be playing the game because we're just not locked into that level of awareness as to what really is transpiring.
So just like XRP sold on the stock exchange, will we see this other, you call it Swift?
Swift, yes, Swift is the best way to get into Swift is going to be through how it sets up its own blockchain mechanism. And that hasn't been revealed in its totality yet. But the thing with, that doesn't mean XRP is dead. XRP has a very strong community overseas, especially in the East. Malaysia, China, Japan, they all are using XRP in their financial portfolios, to move their currencies along. But the way I see it, I think that XRP is going to be pretty dominant in the East, and Trump and his stable coin is going to be dominant in the West. This is why Trump created the Trump stable coin, the Trump crypto. That's a stable coin, the cryptocurrency that he and his family invested in and created, because.
But wasn't that a Ponzi scheme?
Huh?
Wasn't that Trump coin a Ponzi scheme?
But everything's a Ponzi scheme. I mean, the whole financial system that we operate in and with and on is a Ponzi scheme.
The dollar.
I think
Yeah.
I guess I'm just curious if this shift that's going to happen into stable coins, because it is inevitable, because the blockchain does solve a problem in terms of being able to move large sums of money, especially for oil.
Yep. Just like that.
Just like that, right? And can verify and secure those funds, and it solves the problem. My question though is that can will the collapse of the petrodollar, which we are seeing happen in real time, will we be able to survive that calamity that is going on in real time right now to this shift, or is it going to be widespread pain and suffering that is going to occur, especially in these countries that have these fake economies based on the petrodollar? Will folks be able to survive it?
What we're experiencing right now is the largest transfer of wealth in human history. And I can say that unabashedly, that this is, and yes, there's going to be massive amounts of pain and suffering that is going to be widespread, and a lot of what is happening right now, like with in the straits that Iran is controlling, the information that I'm getting is that the strait is open, but what they're doing is they're saying that all of these oil ships that are moving through the strait must pay in Chinese yuan.
Yep.
And not the petrodollar.
Mm-hmm.
Which means that pressure on the dollar is going to come back on us. So all these ships, all these oil containers that are moving through the straits are really, and we're talking about countries from all over the world, and are now going to have to use the yuan for payment to pay the toll to get through, which is completely removing the influence, financial influence of the petrodollar. So it's a deep game, but it's the game. It's we're this is chess, not checkers,
And I think that's where I get afraid of, is that I don't know how well thought out this plan to sink the petrodollar was, and that the unintended consequences and even the intended consequences may outweigh the ability to actually shift to a stable coin society.
See, this is the thing. Everything has been leading up to global tokenization, that everything is being moved into the category of digitization. Everything is going to be digital and tokenized. When you look at BlackRock, when you look at, all the major banks, they're all moving now into tokenization, where all assets are going to be tokenized. And this is why the stable coin, is going to have its day in the sun, because if you don't own other assets, if you're not invested into silver, if you're not invested into gold, if you're not invested into some of the cryptos, because there are a handful of cryptos that are going to lead the way into this new day of tokenization. And the only way we're going to be able to step into that is through these cryptos. That's the only way we're going to get there. But it's only a handful. The iOS 2020, 2022 cryptocurrencies, are those that are in line with the IMF, the World Economic Forum, um, others that are promoting and moving forward with the globalist agenda, the banking systems, BlackRock, all of these systems now behind closed doors have all embraced tokenization. And you can see it when you just look at the little things that you have to do in your daily life. You can see tokenization becoming the imprint for our reality.
So you mentioned an alternative. So we're seeing the fall of the dollar. I don't know if people would follow what Trump creates. Everybody in the globe seems to say, okay, well, later for you, create their own. But where does that leave us as Black people? And I see in the chat someone's raised this question about an African Development Bank group or global financial architecture that would be for people acknowledging African ancestry. What is that alternative that you had in mind when you mentioned that shift?
I mean, that would be awesome. I mean, it's definitely about, this is my thing. I just wonder if we can step up. That's where I sit. I wonder if collectively we have the wherewithal to step up, because that's what's needed right now. We have the power, we have the ability, we have the right individuals strategically placed in various aspects of the culture to move us forward. But will they?
And that's why we're here creating Zola Mondays, because we want to encourage people, first of all, to become knowledgeable that we do have mental sovereignty, that we get to decide what we think and what we want to create. We don't have to follow our ancestors' captors' idea that's basically led humanity over the brink, on the brink. We're about to fall off. So we're so thankful for you us coming to share, Professor. You've certainly taken us to another level in terms of not only the neurological aspects and the biogenetic aspects, but the psychological, I think, is where we've come around to, which is, do we have the power? Are we going to do it?
That's
And
it.
it's totally up to us. And what we say here,
That's
as
the
a part
bottom
of
line.
Solar Mondays, we do have the power. And
Yeah.
here is the architecture we need to implement that power. And we're present and able and willing. And we have to take leadership.
Isn't that why Gaddafi was assassinated?
Yeah.
Oh,
No
yeah.
question.
Mm-hmm.
And the beat down right now that they're putting on silver, that they're putting on gold, if you don't have an understanding of the game, then you become just like frantic, afraid, and you go, oh, I can't invest in that. Oh, I can't get into that. Oh, look at that. Gold dropped from 5,000, almost $6,000 down to 4,000 something now. And silver was at $120, and now it's down to 70. Oh, no, it's too volatile. That's the illusion.
It's a long game.
Because they want to create that fear to make sure you do not invest in those assets. They do not want you to have assets. I mean, the IRS is trying to take silver and make it a collectible. That's what the IRS is saying. Oh no, silver is not money. Silver is not an asset. Silver is a collectible, like a baseball card. That's insane. So that goes directly against the Constitution of the United States, where it says emphatically that only silver and gold will be used as money in this country. Everything else that we lock into is a derivative of that.
The thing about silver too is that it has a utilitarian
Yeah,
aspect to
no
it, and
question.
it's tremendous need. So
Satellites,
if you don't
medicine,
think you can afford
electric
gold,
vehicles.
get some silver.
Yeah,
It's
Yeah.
interesting as well that you talk about like silver and gold, because France, I believe just today, took out their last $15 billion of gold that was here in the United States.
yep.
So I just think people should start to see these signs that are happening and maybe wake up.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, we look
Yeah.
at you look at Bitcoin, right? And yes, Bitcoin does drop, but those drops long term, Bitcoin is supposed to appreciate at such an exponential level to where if I kick myself in the butt, because if I would have bought Bitcoin back when it was $60 a coin, $20 a coin, today I'd be talking to you from a yacht.
And we'd be right there with you.
we'd all be in a yacht.
Yeah.
But I think the beauty is we don't know what's going to happen to Bitcoin. All of that digital presence is just like the dollar was contingent on our belief in it.
Yeah. It's a
That's
derivative
the only
of
thing that
what's
keeps it
real.
going is our belief in it.
Yeah.
But because it's a global economy, we really do need to think or be thinking, as you say, Professor Chandler, what is the global economy? You know, these power brokers they have never been national. They've always played chess, and they are connected globally and not nationally committed. And that's why they don't have any problem throwing the US of A under the bus. That's why they would let a president like the one we currently have blow up the dollar. Because it was a part of the plan all the time. And we're loving you seeing your children.
I know. I'm like, so first of all, I was in the teacher's lounge and then my laptop died and I was like, oh my God, the live ended. So then I came in my office, but Miss Williams, she's doing sessions with some of our babies. So yeah, they just been popping in and out the office.
Well, you know, I think what we're exemplifying today on creating Zola Mondays is the kind of transition.
Hi.
Hi, Precious. How are you?
Have a good day,
class. That we're going into part of it.
Go buy some Ethereum, little girl.
I don't. I'm about to tell her all about Bitcoin in the next session. Let me tell you about financial freedom.
Yeah, let's look at that global picture and what are the Easterners doing, because they have the largest populations.
Yeah,
and everybody's taking gold out of the U.S. and buying it. Because the dollar, they can get it so much cheaper. Look at the price of gold and silver anywhere else in the world beside the U.S.
Yeah.
They're having what does they say, a bargain basement sell of those assets right now.
Yeah.
So it's not.
You got to take advantage, you know, while the getting is good. You know, I mean, we have to use their strategy against them, you know, and we're in a position to do that. You know, we really are. Like, I've got strong connections in Africa. I mean, I've got people in Kenya right now looking at, you know, gold mines and getting physical gold out. I've got strong connections in Ghana. You know, I mean, we just have to come together. You know?
Well, we're so happy we're out of time. I know we are, Dr. JoJo. We probably started about 15 minutes late, so we're about another 15 over. But we're so happy to have you, Professor Chandler. You've just been a delight and shared so much knowledge and wisdom with us. And hopefully, we're able to continue this conversation because, in actuality, what is strangling us now will be
Yeah.
the fear that comes with change.
Yep.
Change in its own right, even if it's change for the good, it can be stressful. And we are going to have to overcome this, the weathering that occurs when we succumb to racist attacks. They're not going to they're not going to be limited. They're going to get worse, if anything.
No question.
So it's time for us to wake up, to come together, and to move on. And I like this idea. We need to transcend, move on to the 4D and ultimately the 5D.
Yeah.
The 3D reality that's been imposed on us by this prejudice against the right brain and prejudice toward the masculine, fragmented, what I call suboptimal mindset. It's done. And you can be done with it, or you can transcend and you can develop and you can really come into another way, a better way of being in the world that is just, sacred, and sustainable.
Hey, change is the only constant.
This is true.
Yes, Octavia Butler. Absolutely. Love that. Sorry, I got excited.
So,
So my
well,
closing
thank
is
you
that
all. Thank you for having me. And
Our pleasure.
yeah, and one day maybe I'll see you all on retreat.
yes. Or at convention. You gotta come on down to ABC convention. But we'll probably also be calling you to come back to talk to us because it's just like
Yeah.
Nana Linda said, you've been very enlightening, at least to us as well as our audience. So thank you so much.
Yeah, this conversation really needs to continue, and there are so many things that I personally wanted to ask that I haven't been able to ask yet because the conversations have been so robust.
It
Yeah,
is true. I mean,
we can keep going, you know.
well, we appreciate you. And so, needless to say, we will be calling on you again. I know this month, though, later you will be at a retreat in Jamaica.
Yeah, in a few days. Yeah,
Yes.
I leave for Jamaica in a few days. Yeah.
Are people
Safe
still able to
travel.
sign up for that retreat?
Yeah.
Okay. And
Yeah.
would we be able to share that information for people if they wanted to?
Yeah, I sent the information.
Flyer.
If you
Yeah,
give
we
me
have that. We will share it to our audience. Sorry to cut you off. We have the flyer though.
okay. Yeah. It's going to be off the chain, you know.
It is true. And then there'll be another one in May in California. So if you can't get to JA, you can make it to California,
Where in California are you going to be?
Berkeley. And we'll
Oh,
be talking about an optimal psychology retreat.
okay.
Free
California
family.
love.
Yo, you know what's crazy? Iran sent a picture of a missile with Tupac on it, and they were over there shouting out Nipsey Hussle. So that's actually
Oh,
really crazy.
nice.
Our culture is broadly reaching.
Hey.
They said they ain't got no beef with us.
I know because black folks was on the internet like, "Come on, Iran! Like we don't have nothing to do with this." And Iran was like, "Word, we love Black Americans." They was like, "Y'all good in our book," but I digress because we're nonprofit, apolitical. Okay, I'm gonna end the stream. Do we have any final comments, Nana Linda, Professor Chandler, William?
I'm just
I'm
wanting
good.
to share with the audience how much we love them, appreciate them, and their tolerance for our uh, left brain leaning. No, our right brain leaning. And so I continue, and we are appreciative. And please, please, please go forward, liberate your mind, illuminate your soul, and we will see you the next time.
Okay, thanks, family. We're gonna
Peace.
Peace and
end our
blessings.
stream.